Welcome back to Let's Play Kirby's Dream Course. In the previous episode, we cleared course number 3, and it was actually kind of challenging. Earned a very respectable silver medal despite the increase in difficulty, which honestly belied its very peaceful looking backdrop. And so, in this episode, we got course 4 ahead of us. It's a very formulaic kind of game. And by the way, if you thought the courses and their backdrops, backgrounds, what have you, were strange and otherworldly so far, you ain't seen nothing yet. And what do we have here? Yet another new copy ability. If you played a handful of Kirby games, you'll recognize this one from the start, none other than Thorn-nado. Got some nice use though, it seems to make Kirby dizzy. And sure enough, there's a twister enemy that's going to give it to us right away. Oh, and yeah, check out that background. This music is actually called Jigsaw Plains in the soundtrack. Presumably, that's what that area down there is called. It's, absurdist is one way to call it, one thing to call it. So we got a kind of a valley-like setup here. We got this twister, a wispy, a broom hatter, another wispy, and a second broom hatter down on the bottom here. So we're going to need to use Thorn-nado ability to get around the wispies and take out all these enemies if we can. Thorn-nado can be a very, very potent and strong and very useful ability, but it's rather difficult to control. So we want to be smart here. First of all, we want to veer off to the side with some side spin here to give the Thorn-nado room to maneuver. Easy, full power here. You just barely nail the twister there, and off we go. You want to... Ooh, that was almost bad. So, use left and right to rotate Kirby as he's in his Thorn-nado form. He does slow down over time, although he gains momentum by going down slopes and up slopes. And if we can time this just right, not quite. You see, the catch is, if you try to approach the cup while you're in Thorn-nado form, while you're moving too fast, to just bounce off the lip of the cup and land right next to it instead of falling in. And that makes things, it just kind of tacks on the difficulty of using Thorn-nado in a useful way. One other thing to note about Thorn-nado ability is that, much like controlling the guide when you're setting up a shot, holding right moves you clockwise, holding left moves you counterclockwise. You want to keep that in mind because it can be kind of confusing when you're moving in all sorts of different directions. So, yeah, it's very difficult to master, but if you can, it's very nice. Hole 2, we're going to want to start out with a curved shot here. I'm going to set this up to hit these first 2 broom hatters, because as you can see, it's another enclosed valley type thing. They really want us to get a hang of using Thorn-nado ability. A grand total of 5 enemies in this cramped space and an inactive spin switch here. We want to try to hit that. So I'm going to start this off. You want to hit these 2 broom hatters first of all, and then proc Thorn-nado while we're heading toward that squishy. Hit that. Try and land on the spin switch. We're not going to reach any of the spinning tiles, unfortunately. But we did get 4 of the enemies, and we're not even going to need to use them to get in the cup. It's very nice. If you're running low on steam and you got Thorn-nado ability, you can land on the spin tiles, and they'll give you quite a bit of momentum to spin around with, even more so than you would without the ability active when you're just regular Kirby. So we're about 1/4 power here. That was not enough. So we're gonna try and proc Thorn-nado and test our luck here. See, that's what happens. You bounce off the lip of the cup, just like that. So because of that, and my lack of proper thinking of what power to use on that second shot, we're gonna have to settle for a 3 here. Let us hope that's not a sign of things to come. Hole number 3 has multiple levels to it. We got a blue warp here, 2 enemies up top with a spinning tile surrounding, well, in between them, rather, and a Rocky down here, just sitting all by his lonesome. However, as tempting as the much more stable stone ability is, we do want to keep Thorn-nado heading forward. So what we want to do here is make a rather awkward shot to hit that blue warp. We do want full power here. Boost off the side of the border wall there. We will hit this broom hatter despite the spinning, despite you know what I'm talking about. And now with Thorn-nado, we're gonna miss that. Yeah, I kind of screwed up the angle on that. Hopefully we're not too close to the wall though. Okay, good. I was a little worried there. Thought I Spoke too soon. Okay, we can still do this. We're just gonna need some side spin is all. Maybe if I just move this a little more to the side there, that should work. This is where this knowledge of all these advanced techniques and spin maneuvers comes into play. It's a little short, but you might still be able to know. Damn it! This Let's Play curse, I swear. So we're gonna have to settle for another 3. I've gotten holes in 1 on this hole before, but we're gonna have to settle for a 3. Yeah. Hole 4 is ahead of us, and real fast, let's check on the scorecard. Gordo here. Oh wow, we're actually keeping pace with the thing. Gotta question why a spiked ball with eyes is playing golf, but nonetheless, let's take a look here. We got a whole bunch of squishies and what amounts to a staircase almost. A couple of Gordos guarding this bottom squishy and a blue warp to take us back up to the top. Fun fact, actually, if you remember that set of tutorials available through the demo play in the main menu that we saw for a brief bit on episode 1, this whole, let me rephrase that rather, the tutorial for the tornado ability actually resembles the first part of this hole quite a bit. Yeah, go figure. And so, handle this. I'm going to leisurely fall down here. Proc Tornado will ram into the top of this pyramid, slowly fall down these stairs, turn right, holding right as soon as we get down here. Adjust. We might have to carry them off the wall here to avoid the Gordos. There we go. And hit the Gordo and fell in the water nonetheless. Not a hole in 1, but we can quite easily get a 2 here. Careful. 3 notches of backspin. And got it. Let's fall just short just to ensure nothing goes wrong. Boost. And we're in. There's a nice 2. Yeah, if you can't figure out exactly what to do on this hole, or if, stars forbid, you came in here with stone, good luck. Hole 5 now, and what do you know? We have another new copy ability. I mean, of course, you'd probably expect it at this point. They're giving us 2 new ones per course so far. These Togezo enemies, yes, that is how they're pronounced, Togezo, is, they give you none other than Needle ability, another Kirby mainstay. We'll get an idea of how they function in just a moment. We want to line ourselves up so that we hit that arrow. So we're going to want to use just a little under full power, I believe. Needle. And immediately stop in place. Needle ability lets you stop immediately the instant you hit the ground next. If you're on the ground, that's no problem. If you are in the air, you'll have to wait to stop until you next touch the ground, so it's less reliable in stone in that regard. And let's see here, you want to try to slide right in. Will this work? No. That's unfortunate. The difference between needle and stone is that, you see, whereas stone ability has you slide right down any slopes you use it on, you will actually stick to the slope when using needle. Yeah. Makes stopping on these sloped surfaces completely safe. Although, since you don't touch the ground, since you don't stop until you touch the ground, needle is less reliable than stone in such scenarios like where you just fell down from a higher surface and you're bouncing a little along the ground. It makes it harder to stop than if you had stone. So overall, stone is more reliable, but needle has much more potent use in very specific situations. Anyway, moving on to the obstacles of this hole, we got these fast-moving red arrow tile things. Those things are moving fast for a very good reason. We got to get down to these 3 caboos down here. And we got to find a way to do so without landing in spikes or getting hit by Gordos. Survey says we're going to want to take the middle path here. So we're going to want to curve this just a little. And you see, those moving red arrows, again, aren't just for show. Because as soon as we hit them, off we go! So we can stop right in the middle of these here. Got it. You notice Kirby did bounce just a little there because he was bouncing just a little. those moving red arrows send you forward at high speed, but they do not alter your momentum at all. Which is why it's a very good thing that we hit that blue arrow there, the arrow button, etc. before we touch that red arrow. Because if we hadn't, we would have gone flying in at who knows what direction and probably landed in something, or worse yet, flown off into the abyss. But now, instead, we just need to time this shot just right. Another quick glimpse, because I want to be sure I get this correct. Let's see. Remember, the extended guide is about half power, so if we go for about 3/4, we should be just proc needle just in case, and we stop just before the hole. Again, needle can be rather unreliable when you're trying to stop right next to something. So that's another 3. Yep. Puts us at 16 strokes so far. Now we got another very crazy and wildly angled setup. Another Togezo, a Kaboo, Chili, a second Kaboo. Wispy sitting all up there by his lonesome. And this hole looks much, much more confusing than it is. You see, with those 2 enemies lined up there, we want to find a way to line ourselves up so that we hit both of them. But this guy doesn't quite allow that, right? Even if we try something crazy like this. Well, that blue warp is there, as is that one. And we can take advantage of that just like we did on the last hole of the 3rd course. So, all we really need to do is give ourselves just enough power to reach the edge of this slope, slide down, hit the warp, run into this enemy and the one after it, and proc needle as soon as we hit the ground. And now we do want to have freeze ability for here, for the following hole. We do want to have freeze, so keep that in mind. You do want to take out the Chili second last. Let's double check. We want a little under half power, I believe. And if we're just short, we can use freeze to slide a little further. And if you heard there, each of these copy abilities actually creates a slightly different sound effect, or one of a few slightly different sound effects, because a couple double up, when you land in the hole while you're using them. It's kind of neat. And just like that, we're already at the final hole for this course. The music's playing. We got a very unusual setup here with a bouncer on the slope here, 3 Gordos. That's scary looking. And what do you know? A pool of water here, and that's why we wanted to bring freeze in. We also got a Rocky and 2 other enemies here. So our goal for this first shot is to get across here, hit the Rocky, and stop somewhere relatively safe. So to do that, we're going to want some topspin. Yeah, potentially dangerous, but let's try this. We're going to want to land on that bouncer. Careful. And now about this much power. And blocked by the Gordo. Well, this is not going to end well. Or will it? Slide across here. Come on, come on. Just enough, just enough. Yes! Wow. I cannot believe that worked. But Kirby's low on health, so we're going to need to be very careful about this. A grounded shot, from prior experience, will not be enough to carry you into both enemies. Like, you won't be able to just come to the top of this one, slide back down, and reach the other. We're going to want to use a, unfortunately, blind aerial shot with some backspin on it. And we're going to want to use not a whole lot of power. But don't fret if you look like you're overshoot. Just use stone, and you're in. That was unfortunately not as many low scores as I had wanted, but nothing too catastrophic. So overall, it's a nice, clean round. 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2 for a total of 20. And once again, not enough for a gold, but still comfortably silver. Take it away, Kirby. Score of 20 once again gets us in just under the previous top scores. and in fewer tries than any of them did, although I suppose this ain't my first time going through it, so maybe that's a little deceptive. But they don't need to know that. So, a nice round overall, although I'm pretty sure I'm going to be seeing colored jigsaw puzzle pieces in my sleep tonight. So, we're really starting to get some distance up this flying fortress golf course complex thing, aren't we? So we can almost see the top now. But next time on Let's Play Kirby's Dream Course, we're going to be taking on course number 5. See you then, guys.